नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय.
Hi friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. So we will continue our discussion around different major arcana cards. The card which we are going to discuss today is the card number 11, which is the Justice card. So we will have our discussion on the same 4 parameters which we have been following in this series. First we will try to understand this illustration, this design. Then we will try to understand its divinatory meaning. We'll also try to understand that what would remain to be the case if this card will come out to be reversed in your reading. Because in tarot readings, the reversed card has got entirely different meaning as compared to its upright position. Then we will try to understand its real life meaning and real life situation where this card can be fitted in the lives of the people. So let's just start our discussion with a quick recap of all what we have studied so far. We have already discussed that tarot is basically used for doing a character analysis, to get a glimpse of the future, to get a solution to remediate problems, to elevate and to increase your spiritual state, meditative state, because it has been believed that the divine, the energies preside on these tarot cards. Because very soon I am even going to teach you people that how to charge these cards, how to get prepared for this card. But right now the need of the hour is, what we are doing is that we are trying to understand each card individually. What all are the signification as being represented by these cards. So in our this discussion, what we are doing is that we are following a peculiar pack of tarot cards which are known as the Rider-Waite tarot cards, because across the world there are different pack of cards which are available. The one which I am following here are the most recommended ones and the most popular ones. Recommended in the sense that they are most recommended for the beginners like you people. So these tarot cards, the Rider-Waite tarot cards, were being produced in the year 1910 by the famous occultist author Edward Waite, on whose instruction the famous illustrator Pamela Colman Smith, she developed these cards. When it comes to understanding their constituents, so they can be divided into 2 chunks, the major arcana cards and the minor arcana cards. Arcana is a Latin word which means secret. So major arcana cards, which are 22 in numbers, they carry one unnumbered card which is the Fool, and the 21 numbered cards. Whenever a major arcana card has come in your reading, it tells about some impactful, some long lasting event, and those particular aspect of someone's life needs to be looked at with lots of scrutiny, lots of contemplation, with lots of seriousness, because major arcana card carry a lot of weight. And when it comes to minor arcana cards, they are 56 in numbers, which tell about life in a very mundane level. When it comes to these major arcana cards which we are understanding and discussing in this series, it has been believed that the unnumbered card, which is the Fool, is the symbol and the manifestation of the spirit, and it's the spirit or the soul only which is on the journey of life and going through these 21 lessons of life, going through different experiences, hopes, joys, sorrows, before attaining fulfillment in the final card number 21. So in our this discussion so far, we have already discussed the Fool card, which tells about the beginning. We have discussed the Magician card, which tells about action. High Priestess card, which tells about the illumination, spiritual enlightenment. We have discussed the Empress card, which is all about the amenities, luxury, wealth, fertility. Emperor card, which just tells about authority, regulation. Then comes the Hierophant card, which is all about the orthodox norms, tradition, culture. Then comes the Lovers card, which is all about the relationship, sexuality, personal values. Then comes the Chariot card, which is about the triumph, victory, heart control. Then comes the Strength card, which is about the strength, compassion and soft control. The Hermit card, which is the card number 9, which is all about the search, guidance, exploration. The last card, just previous to it, was the card number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, which is about the the sudden touch of luck, change in fortune. That all we can see from the Wheel of Fortune. Now the Fool in its journey has reached the card number 11, which is the Justice card. When it comes to understanding its illustration, these illustrations are very important because they are the treasure house, the combination of all the mysteries, philosophies, religion, magic ever been known to humankind. So you might just by looking at the card will get an answer to your query. You might get a trace of astrology here, Kabbalah here, the Bible over here. So that is the only reason understanding the illustration is also equally important. So when it comes to understanding this illustration, as you can see, there is this person who is sitting in front of these two pillars. So these two pillars are the same which we have discussed in the Hierophant card and the High Priestess card. They are the pillars of the mercy and the severity. When it comes to understanding the elements in this person's hand, because you see in this card you are getting a feeling and the touch of the courtroom kind of feeling. So this is what this card and its energy is all about, justice. So in its right hand you can see this sword, which just tells about inclination towards the implication, the execution of the justice. And just because it's two-faced, it just tells about that the action can build as well as can destroy. Same ways, the weighing scale of gold on the left hand just tells about the inclination towards quest for truth, balance, judgment, fairness, equality, we see from this. So when it comes to understanding the divinity meaning of this card, this just tells about respect for justice, honesty, being impartial with your decision, honest with your decision making. This card also tells about understanding the cause and effect. So all those times which come in our life, whenever we get this feeling that we have worked so much but we have not been reciprocated, returned with equal measure of the goodness in our life. So this card also tells about that. This card also tells about preparing yourself for the the decision. So looking at all the prospect, all the conditions, the pros and cons of a particular situation which you are in. This card also tells about assuming responsibility. So anything related to responsibility, being accountable for, settling old accounts gets seen from this card. So in a nutshell, this card just tells about if it has come in an upright position, that the lawsuits will be won, balance in the judgment and the justice will be served. Whenever this card is reversed, this card just tells about fear of injustice, the losses in the lawsuits can also be seen, and the balance which needs to be maintained in all aspect of the life. See, when it comes to understanding these cards, their meaning in the real life, so it all comes down to your own spiritual elevation. That let's say for example, if someone has come to you for a reading and his question is pertaining to the love, the relationship, so if lover's major arcana card has come out in your reading, this would just tell about that you by yourself are so of a heightened spiritual state, your cards are charged and you are in sync with the universal energies. So that is the reason I always say in tarot reading, the reader needs to have a personality, need to have a belief system. So when it comes to understanding this real life meaning of this card, all those situations where the person has been downtrodden or have faced the ups and downs of the life and waiting for the justice to come in his way. Upright position just tells about that justice will be served. The person is in a state of advantage. All the situation where we need to have a we need to have a faith, where we get into this mode that we have done so much for the others and people have not been good to us. So this just tells about the cause and effect. If you have done good, you will be reciprocated with goodness. So this is all what we get to know from this card number 11, which is the justice card. So this was my view on the card number 11. For further more updates and notification on tarot, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.
चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहम्